to talk today about control and what you're in control of and what you're not in control of. A lot of people exhibit certain signs and behaviors that are not only in the gym, but maybe in relationships, maybe in your home space or family or your children, or maybe it's you as a mother or a wife who is the controlling one. So there are certain things that I want to bring to light here today to talk about how to identify if you're dealing with someone who is extremely controlling. In general, it's just you, if you're the controller, or it's allowing someone who is the controller to try and get you to conform to their beliefs, their preferences and needs and wants, desires, whatever it is that they believe that they deserve or that they should have. Control is conforming to someone else's wishes, outcomes, beliefs, their standards. This can be religious beliefs. These can be political beliefs. These can be any kind of belief at all. And when somebody degrades you or talks bad to you or negative to you because you don't agree with them or you don't believe like them, even if it's in joke, which I'll get to that, you're experiencing control. What control is not, controlling behavior is not standing up for yourself. It's not when you stand up for yourself. That's not controlling behavior. Being independent, that's not controlling behavior. Exercising your sovereign right is not controlling behavior. Setting boundaries, that's not controlling behavior. Being authentic, that is not controlling behavior. It's really interesting that controlling behavior has been linked to aggression in relationships. So people who are highly controlling typically are very aggressive in relationships to achieve the conformity that they're looking for. And they'll say things like, well, I'll just leave if they don't give me what I want. If they say something negative, I'll just leave. Or I'm just going to close down. If they don't like it, that's their problem. You know, people, that's control. That's an exercise of what I call coercive control. It's actually hurting people when you do that, especially if people like threaten you, they're going to leave, they're not going to be your customer anymore, or they're going to leave you, they're going to divorce you if you do X, Y, or Z. That is within healthy boundaries that you've agreed on, by the way. But I'll just leave if you don't do X. That's control. That's a controlling statement. Studies show again that controlling behavior is attributed to aggression, higher rates of aggression, toxic relationships, and even worse. So when you have two controlling people in a room or two controlling people in a relationship, you have a higher rate or higher incidence of a toxic relationship. You have bigger problems. You have, and that can escalate into even worse, even yelling, screaming, subjugation of one's opinions and even their airtime. What I call airtime, that's when you're having a discussion and one of you escalates into this really, really loud state of being to overtalk the other one or walks out on. When you stonewall somebody, that's walking out on them, that's control. There are a few signs you can use to identify if you have a controlling, maybe it's a controlling customer, maybe it's a controlling client, maybe it's a controlling family member. Maybe you're in a controlling boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, or you're developing a friendship and maybe one of you is a little bit more controlling than the other. So when it comes to control, it's really interesting to evaluate the situation to see if you experience these signs of control. The first sign of a controlling person is the my way or the highway mentality. You're either going to catch the vision or you're going to catch the bus. Those types of people, that is a signal right away. I had a boss like this. That was her mantra. You're either going to catch the vision or you're going to catch the bus. And we're going to love you, but we're going to love you from afar. She was very, very controlling, very, very narcissistic and very controlling. So when you have that my way or the highway, attitude, whether you're a student in a class or you are a patron online, when you have this is the only way, you really are exhibiting the first sign of controlling behavior. Number 2, when a person is or has to be the center of attention, they walk in the room, they announce their entry, they bring all the energy to them. And if anyone in the room is not on board with it or is not having a conversation that fits what they want, they'll quickly change the conversation, or they'll leave the room, or they'll ignore you. Let's say you're the professor and you're teaching a class and you don't want to hear what the professor or somebody doesn't want to hear what you have to say. Then they don't listen. They miss out on some instruction, and they walk out. So that's controlling. When you are always late, bring this air of energy with you when you come in. That's kind of controlling. Number 3, always a better way, or their way is the best. The controlling person always tries to tell you a better way. They always try to one-up you. They always tell you you should use this tool, or should do this, or should have done this, or you would do better if you had this. They don't let you be in your space. Let's say you're canning. Let's say you're canning. Someone trying to tell you how to can, though you know how to can. They're always going to one-up you. And then when you say something about it, they get a little butt hurt and they say, well, I was just trying to help. That is a controlling person. They always have a better way. Some better book, some better website, some better way, some better tools. They just have to control how you do. Controlling people, number 4, are highly manipulative. Manipulation means that you don't know that they're manipulating you until it's too late. So highly manipulative people are masters at manipulation. They've manipulated their whole life. They know how to get you to conform to what it is they want. They'll tell you how to dress, how you should dress, what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear, what would look best on you. I've seen what I call covert controllers, and they'll tell you, ooh, you'd really look good in this. They're trying to, if you didn't ask, especially if you didn't ask for an opinion. Manipulation is something that's really, really valuable when you're looking at controlling people. In line with manipulation as well, you have those who are covert and who are overt. Some people are directly manipulative. Some people are very, very manipulative behind the scenes, which is covert manipulation. Then we have those who will try to gaslight you. Now, gaslighting is a really fabulous buzzword, and my husband hates to hear me say it, and he hates to hear me say it on camera, and he hates to hear me talk about it. He does not like the word gaslighting because gaslighting is a form of manipulation. And basically gaslighting is when somebody uses words, behaviors, anything to make you think that you missed that, or that you were crazy, that you didn't know. That's not how I said it. That's not how it was. So I can't believe you thought that. That's gaslighting. And we all gaslight. Oh, you're not going out without any makeup today. They'll say things. It's just passive. It's passive aggressive remarks and passive aggressive behaviors. You'll see people gaslighting people on TikTok on the comments. You'll see people gaslighting people in a store, or if they don't really like people, or there's somebody they'll just gaslight them. Gaslighting is not uncommon, and we all do it to a degree. We all manipulate to a degree, but it's to what degree, and am I trying to constantly control this person or this situation? I run a gym. I have to control my environment. Otherwise, it would be feral and out of control. But there's a certain degree where I let them kind of be feral because I think it's important and it's socialization. Not respecting. Number 6 on the list is not respecting boundaries. If somebody doesn't respect your boundaries, if you set a boundary and say, hey, can we not talk about these things here, or I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to hear that, or if you're late, I'm going to lock the door, and they don't respect that and they get butt hurt, guess what? That's a controlling person. So when you set your boundaries, now boundaries, I'm not talking about brick walls. I'm talking about boundaries, healthy boundaries. When you set healthy boundaries, controlling people, they don't like that. And the last one, it's an excuse. It's a joke. I was just joking. I was only kidding. Gosh, you're so sensitive. That goes back to gaslighting. You're sensitive because they're trying to make you think you're crazy. You're being too sensitive again. I don't like when people say that. It's not okay. You're allowed to be as sensitive as you want to be. So gaslighting then is when someone says, hey, you're being too sensitive. But I was just joking. I'm just kidding. I was being funny. Gosh, that is control, because they don't want you to make them look bad, but it's okay if they make you look bad. And then they gaslight you around everybody else to make you think you were the sensitive one when they were clearly being not very nice in whatever they said. So those are the 7 signs you have a controlling person in your world, or 7 signs that you may be controlling. If you find or resonate with any of these signs, don't go out and confront somebody and say, hey, you're controlling because the video said it. But just step back and look and observe and see, is this person controlling? Am I controlling? Do I have these controlling tendencies? Where can I kind of take a step back and not be so manipulative or not worry about being right? Until next time.